By managing the moisture usage and the moisture control, it's a major attribute to the quality Semillons that we are known for.
I'm Ken Sloan, the owner of Mistletoe Wines, located at Pecolbin in the Lower Hunter Valley, New South Wales. And I'm here to give you an overview about the mulching regime that we've been following successfully in our vineyard over the last few years. We experienced prolonged drought like a lot of the rest of Australia from the mid-90s through until virtually until about 2007. And during that time we noticed that the vineyard was suffering, yields were down. We kept on restricting our pruning levels so that our cropping levels were reduced. And we decided, we actually started mulching in our veggie garden initially. And so we saw how that was working there, saving us water, etc. So we did a trial block, which I'm thinking back is probably about 2003, and we were quite pleased with the results of that. So we decided to press on with it, and we virtually now have mulched the entire vineyard. We've reapplied it on a 2-year sort of cycle, so that we've built it up to quite a level, and it has made an enormous change in the vineyard. We've noticed terms of quality and also foliage on the vines has improved dramatically, and our cropping levels have gotten back to where they were. They were really quite low during the drought period, and so we were quite concerned about the vineyard. This particular block behind us is Semillon, Hunter Valley Semillon, and Semillon suffers badly from water stress, and so we've noticed a huge change there. It saves us with watering. The vineyard was established as a dry grown vineyard, and so the thing is that we try to avoid watering it where we can. It's only in those extreme conditions that we actually put water on, and so we've noticed that there's been fantastic water retention. The other thing is that you've got the breaking down of the soil we're noticing now quite substantially in the vine row underneath the vines where we've applied the mulch. The vineyard was established as a dry-grown vineyard, and the thing is that we've tried to stay away from that. We put the irrigation on when we ran into those prolonged years of drought, and it's there as a tool if we need it. But we've noticed that since we've applied the mulch, that we have hardly had an issue at all where we've had to apply water, give them a drink in early spring if it's not a wet spring, so it kicks them away. But the water retention is one of the major things that we've noticed, reducing irrigation, and also keeping the soils moist under the vines. You can notice a big difference between under the mulch and out in the mid-row where it's not applied. The other thing is that we're now seeing, after those prolonged applications and the time out in the vineyard, that the soil is breaking down. We're seeing becoming more aerated, more friable, and this in turn is showing in the foliage that's putting on the vines and the quality of the fruit that we're producing there. We've had a bit more natural rainfall as assisted, but generally the quality of the fruit off this block here behind me, the Semillon in particular, has really increased over the last few years. The Semillon we make off here is called our home vineyard Semillon, and it's been consistently rated over the last sort of 5 years by James Halliday as 94, 95 point wine. And so that we weren't achieving that previously. The 2009 was actually selected as one of the top 100 wines in Australia for the year. Yeah. We've held back a bit on mulching the Shiraz at this stage, mainly because we've been advised it is a marginal pH block, so it has high pH anyway. So the thing is that we're watching that. Because we don't want to have a bad effect on the acidity in the wine that comes off there. But the thing is that what we've been advised now is that what we should do is to set up a control part of the block, which we'll be doing now, and do about a quarter of it each year, so that and then we'll be able to bring that online and institute those savings that we've noticed elsewhere. Well, we're saving electricity on the pumping of water for a start. The thing is that it's also helping in terms of herbiciding, and we're not having to herbicide as frequently. We find that we're getting suppression of weeds under the vineyard row, and so all of it translates back into saving costs, as well as producing better and increased yields of fruit.
Composting discarded food scraps from households is the new horizon for organics resource recovery. Kathy Woods from the Hills Shire Council has shown that low contamination collection can be achieved so that the nutrients and carbon can be recycled and go back into the soil from whence they came. Compost has turned an old landfill, after its time, into a state-of-the-art sports field to be used by the community. Sports fields have major problems with water retention and the growth of turf growth. Soil testing was carried out to determine the best approach to rejuvenating the field. Recycled organics was recommended as the preferred soil condition. A 35mm layer of compostable and screened recycled organics was applied to the surface, on top of the existing turf, and then rotary hoed into a depth of approximately 150mm. This included the existing turf grass, which was also rotary hoed in at the same time. After a number of months, the field had completely rejuvenated with a thick covering of grass, without having to relay expensive turf grass. Other fields have had recycled organics applied at a 10mm covering and have experienced a 40% increase in cation exchange capacity that has enhanced turf grass growth. Here at Milgadara Farm in Young, in rural New South Wales, humified compost is being used to grow pasture and crops including canola and grains. The farm provides opportunities for people to see the results from using more sustainable methods and learn about the practical implementation of biological farming.
You could see a dramatic change in a growing season that you wouldn't really expect. You know, you're not supposed to, because you're thinking it's you doubt yourself when you do it. But to see the result is very encouraging. Naturally, you do see straight up. You see the water retention that you do keep, that critical part of the year around here in October. We know the rain's coming out late September, October. You still got moisture in the soil where your trial plots that you haven't treated, they're dry. The ease of application of cultivation, the following season, you're not using as much energy to put the crop in, and cost.
Making a high quality product for agricultural soils to increase the diversity of microbes and the humus content of the soil.